Okay, I'll start over. Hi, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo. Here to help you get your mojo back. I'm here August 24th at 4 p.m. Pacific. And for the next 30 minutes or so, we are going to work on helping you to go from a place of fear to love in 5 seconds. Is it possible? It is, if you're paying attention and you really want to do it. So listen up. Okay, first, housekeeping. If you want to listen to this event, make sure the icon is up, just like my microphone wasn't plugged in, but now it is. It's all good. It all works out, right? If you're here, say hello. Come and join us and tell us how your week was. Mine was crazy, but a happy crazy. Hi, Jennifer. Okay, right now you can still get your special karmic clarity reading for a whopping 63% off through Saturday, August 25th at 6 p.m. Pacific. And you know, when you can book your reading, hi Nani, welcome back. To book your reading, you don't have to schedule. You can schedule all the way through December. And that gives you extra time for your convenience. Now you just click on the buy now button and on my Facebook page. And I'll also put a link in my actual feed. So, okay, my hair's being very expressive today. I'm exploring my inner wave. Quick reminder, and I'll say this in every event that I do, that the planets don't do anything to you, that we live in a cooperation with our cosmos. When the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, the planets reflect that. It's called a mirror on the cosmic wall. So today we're going to cover, number one, how your body responds, not just to words, but to the vibration behind the words and the intention. Number two, how to work with your brain to move those neurons from a not so happy place to a more happy place. We just want to find a happy place, don't we? And three, how to use a very proven and simple technique. It couldn't get any simpler, folks, I'm telling you. All right, so number one. Let's look at, yes, Jennifer says crazy week. I know, right? Remember, folks, we're just coming out of the retrograde, so this week is the smooth out the wrinkles. I want to iron like my mother and my grandmother used to do. I don't iron. But now I iron out wrinkles emotionally and intellectually. That's what I do. So this is the week where it all, spins, and what you thought was over isn't, what you thought never started, will about to, and it's all kind of a mishmash of stuff. So that's why we want to get clear. We want to get settled. We want to feel better. And this is how we're going to do it, right? This is how we're going to do it. So thanks for being here. I want you to grab a piece of paper and a glass of water. Well, it doesn't have to be water, but a liquid. It could be a tea, a vitamin drink, a cup of coffee. You wouldn't want to use too much caffeine, but definitely not alcohol, okay? Because we're going to use a proven technique by one individual, and then we're going to do another technique by a neuroscientist to help me out. And it'll take you from negative to positive in 5 seconds. Haha. So first, like I did last week, or on Wednesday actually, not 2 days ago, feels like a week since 2 days went by. Okay. These are your neurons. Well, not yours specifically, but what neurons look like and all the electrical impulses and what's moving through. No, I would not use wine. You can whine. I want you to WHINE during this exercise, definitely, but not the drink. Okay. So your neurons have the ability to do what you tell it. They output energy, electrical impulses, and so that's how you can create brain entrainment, what is a fancy phrase for getting over yourself, right? So let me just click that off. Okay. And you can create, the more positive you are, and I don't just mean pretending that it's not there and you walk around going, yeah, everything's great, I'm so happy. That's when you want your glass of wine. You don't want to pretend it's happy when it's not, but how to move through it when you're more grateful. And using these exercises can help you create a channel that opens up in your whole being, not just your brain. And it increases intuitive portals. Yes, it does. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to recap first. Okay. So we're going to recap it takes more energy for your brain to think a positive thought than a negative thought. Yes, that is fact. And it stinks because we're constantly walking around trying to reprogram what was hardwired for our survival. Before we were intellectual and dressed up and going to work, we were just trying to get by. We were just trying to live and survive. So our brain is hardwired to protect us from harm. But now we have the luxury of having 10 minutes to meditate or to, watch a show or do something we really want to do. So we have to tell our brain, okay, it's okay to slow down the fear. It's okay to tune it down. Okay. Now, I just interrupted myself. Oh, and what we talked about on Wednesday were the positive words and moving from a place of fear using positive imagery. Imagery, yes, but words especially. And, as you repeat your affirmations, this is why it's important too, as well, to do it 3 times. I am love, I am grateful, I am supported, but to do it 3 times in a row, because then it really programs that part of your brain that wants to say, what, where, we're in trouble. There's locusts. We're falling off a cliff. Now, you might have done the 30-second exercise that we did. Hi, Kimberly. On Wednesday, or if you haven't, go back and check it out. It's awesome. But now here we go to part 2, talking about the chemicals. When you look at a positive word or a negative word, it actually changes brain chemicals in you so that, it brings you down or it lifts you up. So there's a clue. Let's stop reading the newspaper. Okay, part 2. If you've not heard of Dr. Masaru Emoto, he's a Japanese doctor of alternative medicine and a researcher who undertook a phenomenal task of showing the world what happens to your body when words are spoken. And he shows us in water. You can check out his book. I loaned it to my nephew, so I don't have it here. So let's pretend. Hidden Messages in Water. And no, I am not an affiliate, and I get no compensation for mentioning that. When our daughter was about 7, about 12 years ago or so, I bought this book and sat her down on the couch, and we went through every single page. We looked at all the photographs, and we talked about the possibilities, and it helped her to understand the correlation between thinking, feeling, and then speaking. Remember those words we talked about, but also what it does when you're thinking certain words, what it does to the body. On average, a person has about 65% water in their body. We are made up of about 65%. Now, if you're a child, it's less. If you're a man, it's more. And the earth itself, but it's on average about 65%. Now, the earth is 71% water. And when you have a vibration behind a word or a thought, it's felt by every living thing. Pause for that sentence to echo. Everything you're thinking and feeling is felt by every living thing. So when you calm it down, I feel better. Thank you. So we're pretty impressive, though, aren't we? That we can do that. And, there's also an ancient Hebrew phrase that exists to exemplify this. And you know what? I actually wrote it down so you could see it. And it was borrowed by J.K. Rowling, but in Harry Potter, she used it for the opposite meaning. The ancient Hebrew phrase is abracadabra. And this is the word. And it means I create as I speak. Because that's how mystical, magical, and powerful you are when you are speaking. And so I create as I speak. That's what it means. Pretty powerful, right? Now, you don't have to be just speaking, as Dr. Emoto is showing us, and I'm going to show you what he did. It's kind of staggering that when you think a thought and the vibration moves out into the world, not only does, your family feel it, but, it just keeps going. It's like a radio wave. And so all of the water that is everywhere on Earth collects this vibration. So can you imagine 100 people in one room and they're all feeling bitchy? they're all angry, they're all annoyed, their shoes hurt, they're cranky, they're hungry, they're, just done, they're toast. Well, just imagine that combination of amount of energy that moves through one person, now times 100. Now open the door and let them out into the world, and they almost infect us with their feelings. It's profound as much as it is staggering, right? Anxiety, fear, worry, also laughter and compassion. These things we feel they are carried with vibration through water and through the molecules in the air that contain water, right? So, I think this is why we live so far away from people and far from the madding crowd in the mountains, because it's quieter here. Now, Dr. Emoto froze water crystals that were spoken to. And if you're not familiar, you can take a look at his book, but I did manage to find one image that I can show you here. Okay, look at this, right? These are water crystals that were spoken to. Now, he does it in many different languages, as you'll see in his book. But basically, I love you. That's what a water crystal of I love you looks like. And gratitude. Do it, a command, do it, versus let's do it, right? More collaboration, less anxiety around the, command and the control. And you fool, versus thank you. Look what happens to our water. Just the word war disables that beautiful crystal of peace and disfigures it, let alone the action of war, right? So this is pretty powerful stuff. So I want you to just be present right now as, whoopsie, I clicked the wrong thing. As I say to you, you're beautiful. You're just so beautiful. You're amazing. You're so vibrant and alive. Thank you for everything that you do. Those words, even though they're carried through a 10-second delay, through internet, blah, blah, whatever, you feel those words, right? So it's pretty fascinating, and I hope that they made you feel good too. So now, here's a fun fact that I learned about your brain and the neurons in your brain from Mark Waldom, and he practices practical neuroscience. You can actually see him on a TED Talk if you're interested in learning more from Mark. And hello, Talitha. So it's easier for your brain to think negative thoughts. It's just easier. As I said, we're hardwired to be fearful first because it protects us from harm. And that's the amygdala in the center of the brain. The central part of your brain has what's called it's the reptilian brain. And so that's the part that produces the fear, I'm not safe, you better watch out. Yeah, TED Talks are great, right? So, and, there's always an underlying safety precaution fueling your unconscious engine. You want to be aware of that. So even though you're going through your day, I feel great, I feel happy, I'm putting love into the world and happy things, and then you get sideswiped by a thing, a person, an idea, whatever, and you're thinking, what just happened to me? Well, part of your programming is to vibrate a frequency, right? Remember, your energy is very powerful, and it outputs a frequency all the time, not just one, many. So the more conscious you are in as many moments as possible, you can actually alter this thing. We're going to do a fun little exercise. So, how to work with your brain and those neurons to move the energy to a more positive place. First, when the time comes, all right, let's get ready for an exercise. Let's do it right now because I think it's going to be fun. Hi, Cecilia. Yes, that's right. Neurogym with John Asseroff. That's where I learned it. And so check out Mark Waldom. He's great because I pass along his stuff to my clients. And so this is one of his exercises, actually, that I learned from him. So we're going to do this really cool thing. It's a great technique, takes 5 seconds. Well, actually, the solution takes 5 seconds. The preliminary buildup takes 10. So I want you to get comfortable in a place where, if you're listening to this on the road, maybe it's not convenient, or on a train. I'm not sure where people are in the world. But if you can sit quietly and get comfortable and close your eyes, I just want you to take in a deep breath and then exhale it. Great. Have your drink nearby. It can be water, juice, tea, but nothing alcoholic. Because we're going to charge our water. But at the same time, first, I want you to think about the most persistent, annoying thing of your week. Maybe it's longer than a week. What are you feeling right now? Where is your mind focused? Is it in the present? Are you anxious about something that hasn't occurred, that's about to this weekend or next week? This exercise is going to bring up stuff. So I want you to start thinking about that. And when I tell you, when the time is right, I will tell you, you're going to clap your hands 5 times. That's it, but only when I tell you. And so first, really bring up this feeling of annoyance and fatigue, or feeling lost, or, you're just not happy. You might be sad. You might be confused. You have to be willing to go to this place and to be in this. Hi, Darlene. You have to be willing to be in this place right now to do this exercise so you can benefit from it. So take a few minutes right now. Just whatever has been unpleasant. What's the persistent feeling? Has it been anxiety or fearfulness? Are you frustrated? What's the major theme of the week, of the day? Was it annoyed or angry? Or even if you've been happy all day, what was the most recent thing that really doesn't feel resolved? And maybe you've been impatient with it. You've been confused around it. There's some mixed emotions. Just let it rise to the top. All right? So get prepared. Just let it rise to the top. And I'm going to count to 10 seconds to let you just be in that space. Okay? Anger, fear, confusion, sadness, gather the gloom. Okay, are you ready? On the count of 3, and only when I say, on the count of 3, you're going to clap your hands 5 times. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. That's the exercise. As loud as you can. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As loud as you can. That is a pattern interrupt. Now, also, take a deep breath. It's such a simple exercise. Now, there's an alternative to clapping. You can burst into song for 5 seconds. You can jump up and down 5 times, or you can do any of the combinations. And so whenever you are faced with, it didn't take long, right? Whenever you are faced with something that doesn't feel good, you've had an argument with someone, you're anticipating having to have a heart-to-heart with someone, and that chat is making you anxious, or you're feeling just out of sorts, not together. When body, mind, spirit, I don't know if you can see this. Let me just tilt my thing. When body, mind, spirit are aligned, okay, that's your present moment. And that's the place that healing occurs, is in the present moment. So, but if your mind is out there and your heart's racing because you have other things to do, and then you're chattering over there because you're distracted, or you're distracting yourself on purpose, then this is an exercise that can really bring you back to center in a short amount of time. 5 seconds, actually. 5 seconds. We like the number 5. Okay. That was pretty easy. Just type in the box, if you did this comment, how do you feel right now? I need to take a sip. Folks, there are some great positive affirmations you can do after an exercise like this. The pattern interrupt stops the negative flow, that constant chatter that you have that might be negative or sad or depressed. So when you do an exercise like that and you clap, your hands 5 times really loud, or you burst into song for 5 seconds, or you jump up and down 5 times, or any combination, immediately replace it with a positive, such as, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, 3 times each. Every statement gets 3 go-arounds, right? Remember, because your brain needs 3 positive statements to 1 negative statement. That's how your brain works. So I'm supported, I'm supported, I'm supported. My needs are met, my needs are met, my needs are met. And add on to that, even if I don't know how to meet them, because then you begin to set the stage for trust that you're not alone on this earth and other things can happen. Okay, so how does everybody feel right now? Everybody feeling good? Not much better, Kimberly. Then you want to continue this exercise and keep doing it until you actually can change the way you feel. But you want to make sure, too, that you are paying attention to your biology. Are you hungry? Are you tired? If you have had any kind of nicotine, alcohol, or any kind of medication, this may not work very quickly or at all. So you want to clean out your body, you want to eat well, take care of yourself, and then do this exercise again and again and again until you program your brain. That is the point of these exercises, is to program the part of you that is no longer running from, fear in the jungle, right? Okay. And just a reminder, folks, that, everything in your life is there because of you. And you may not be aware of it. And you may think, well, what did I do that's so wrong? Why is this thing happening to me? What happens now? I thought I was doing the right thing and it's not happening. Let's stop projecting into the future about other people and what we want them to do or how we need them to behave or how we need them to respond to us. Because until you are responding to yourself, moment by moment on a daily basis, looking in the mirror and telling yourself, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love who you are no matter how you feel. Now, for those of us who joined late, I'm just going to show you this phrase again. Abracadabra, it is a ancient Hebrew phrase, and it means I create as I speak. So you want to think before you start speaking, how do you really feel? What do you want to say? And be honest about it. And also, these are the photos, the images I got of Dr. Emoto's crystals that were frozen after words were spoken in many different languages, not just in English. So can you imagine growing up and someone saying, you're so stupid, what's wrong with you? Just once, and your body reacts, right? And then daily, and then month after month, week after week, continually until you start to reprogram yourself to do it yourself. Then you leave that house, you leave that situation, and now you're telling yourself on some level, and this is the old brain chatter, and this is nothing new. People have been talking about this for years and years and years. And so now it's about really moving past it, and by seeing that you can do whatever you choose to do and then have it work for you if you give it a chance. Now, when we're starting something new, a lot of times people will say, yeah, I did it, it didn't work. Okay, how long did you do it for? What's your level of impatience? It's like when we would say to our daughter when she was younger, here, why not do it this way? It worked for us, it may work for you, give it a shot. Oh, yeah, I don't know. And she would try halfway or once and say, no, it didn't work. So magically, right? This is what I'm talking about, folks. It's magic. What card did I just pull without looking? And it is the, mirror, backwards, concentration card. We must concentrate on the thing that we would like to create. You want to create something in your world that feels beautiful and feels magical? Then start paying attention to your feelings, your thoughts, bringing them together in any one moment, and just being honest about how you feel. Not what they're doing, not what they're not doing. It's not about them. They are there because of you. And if you don't want someone in your life who doesn't serve you, and I don't mean as in a servant, but I mean serve your needs the way you would give back, if there's no flow in the relationship, if there's no real trust, then we get to that place of being desperate for attention. And then I think it was John Bradshaw who once said many years ago, I attended one of his seminars about 30 years ago, and he said, it's better to have bad breath than no breath at all, which means you'll take what you can get. Now, I'm hoping that you are not just settling for anything in your life, with your health, with relationships, with friendships. This is about setting healthy boundaries. These little exercises that I share, they have worked for me. I share them with my clients, with my friends. In fact, I want to give you a gift. So I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen, and this is on my website. I want you to go to astrologymojo.com/brainstorm and download, it's for free, and download the audio of this theta. It's a theta wave, but it also has alpha, delta, and beta waves in. It's a combination that I created. It's a hailstorm. And if you listen to it every day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, no more than 20 minutes. And Jennifer is on this call, and she will attest to the fact what happens when you listen to an audio like this all day long. And it brings up every angst, fear, and judgment that you ever had. And you want to go postal. Don't do that. All right. astrologymojo.com/brainstorm. There was no way to put an actual link in this video. So https://www.astrologymojo.com/brainstorm. And I want you to listen to the audio, but read the instructions. It comes with a PDF. And I want you to read the instructions, and you must use headphones. And 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Some people have said it keeps them up at night, so you don't want to do that. And what you'll do, and you'll read about it, but what you'll do is you'll start to retrain your brain to open and allow love to flow. From fear to love in 5 seconds with the exercise we did today, from fear to love in less than 5 minutes just by listening to this theta wave binaural beat audio. And it helps to move the vibration in your brain, and it helps to change the frequency in your water so that when you start to move that energy, you actually come to a place of, I'm chill, like I can do this. This is great. I feel good. I don't need that thing. I'm not desperate for that recognition. I don't have to make them do something to make me feel happy. Then you come to the centered place, right? That's so cool. Okay. Oh, thank you. My husband Dean just actually posted it in the link, so you can click on the link and go right from there. I didn't know how to do that. That's why I have Dean. So if you've got something to drink, go ahead and pick it up and start talking to your water. I do it every day. Our daughter's friends would come over, and I'd be standing there going, I love you, I love you, I love you. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Abundance, abundance, abundance. Prosperity, prosperity, prosperity. And then I drink the water. So not only am I putting that vibe into the world so you can benefit, our little secret. I also talk to my liquid, and then I drink it and I replenish myself. I mean, it's that simple. Sometimes we think we are so separate from our bodies, from our minds, and from our spirits. Again, when you align and they come together, you're in the now. In the now, anything is possible. You put a positive into the now, and then you repeat it every minute, every moment, a positive into the now. What happens is you are so present, you are so powerful that, mystical and magical won't even cover it. You will start to attract to you the same frequency. Now, do I have a gong? Let's bang the gong and, chant and sing. And hey, Cecilia's here. She knows how to sing. Right? That's the goal. Okay, so I do have time for about 2 questions. Now, in the post, if you do have a question, I need you to give me your full name. That means first, middle, and last name, your birth date, and your question. And also, let me know, folks, is this helpful for you? And if there are any other topics that you would like me to cover regarding astrology, self-empowerment, or intuition and clairvoyance, I am happy to help you. So just let me know what that might be for you. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to take another drink of my charged water because I powered it up with love, abundance, and gratefulness. Also, to book a private reading, you can get it through Saturday, this coming Saturday, August 25th at 6 p.m. PT. And that is 63% off. I mean, that's massive. And you can get the reading now, but schedule through December of 2017, so it's more convenient for you. Okay, Kimberly, I don't have a question. You've given me your name and your birthday, but I need a question. So folks, if you want to ask me a question, here's what I need. Your full name, your birth date, and the question. That would really help me. Okay, cool. Now, I'm just going to pull another card for the group and everyone who's here today and who's listening. These cards are not actually for sale anywhere in the world. They were at a big spiritual media event that my husband met the people who actually made these cards. They're the universal law cards. They're really cool, and these are what I use at home. And I just mix them up. They're made with fractal images, really pretty, beautiful images of, I'm always backwards. With this thing, I'm backwards. Okay. So anyway, here's the card that the universe is asking me to pull for you. La, la, la. You know, this reminds me of once I went, I used to work at whole life expos and psychic fairs, and I went to this one place, and I was just I was tired, you know, so many people who resisted the fact of what I did for work. And a guy sat down and, you know, we introduced, you know, we shook hands. He told me his name. And I said, okay, all right, Ricky, here's how it's going to go. And he went, wow. You know, he was sitting there with his arms folded like, yeah, I'm not going to let you in because I don't believe in this stuff. And after I said, hey, Ricky, here's how it's going to go. And he said, wow, I'm really impressed. And I said, I haven't said anything. He said, you called me Ricky. I said, well, you told me your name. He said, no, I told you my name was Henry. Only my mother and my father call me Ricky. So, and then he relaxed his body and he took a breath and he said, tell me what you see. I'm like an idiot psychic savant. I could have sworn I heard him say Ricky. Okay. So we do have a question. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Live sessions are awesome. Here is the card for the entire group today. Ooh, perpetual transformation. That is beautiful. Isn't that pretty? Perpetual transformation. That means you do the things that I advise and suggest, and it's constant and it's ongoing, and it can be really happy. So Kimberly says, okay, let me get your birth info. 12/1. You're a Sagittarian. 6 year. What was the silver lining up with love? But I was supposed to have learned from having to experience things. I'm sorry, sweetie. I don't understand what you're asking me. I was supposed to have learned from having to experience things. Yes, we all learn when we experience things. But let me just tell you, you're in a number 6 year. And in the silver lining, I see. So you must have been hurt in love or in romance. And so you're looking for the silver lining. Is that it? So in a 6 year, first of all, you're learning how to reconnect with what's real for you and how you share with the group, what it is that you share and who you want to share with. Now, if you think about the people that you attract in your life and write down their behaviors, and I'm not talking love interest, it can be love, it can be friend. It can be anybody you attract to yourself. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Oh, I do see. I'm sorry. My husband had to run in. I see it now. I'm talking to somebody that doesn't exist. Okay, so Kimberly, let me start over. January. So that's a 1/21. Aquarius, not a Sag. You still are in a 6 year, my dear, even though you weren't that other person. Okay. I want to know if it would be my business to take back my ex. I got like an overwhelmingly resounding no. And you already know this answer, don't you? You know this answer. Take back your ex? No, your ex is your ex. So in a 6 year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So, I mean, your whole world right now is about understanding how to give back to community. I'm going to go back to what I started saying, how to give back to community and how to learn how to share with the group so that you can attract what you really need. Okay, yeah, I messed up, but I'm coming back to it. So when you see what you really need, and it's not just settling for less, it's having standards for how to behave in a relationship. And what I'm getting is you have zero boundaries. And zero boundaries means you want to give, you want to be happy, you're light, you're focused, but you're not looking at what's happening. You're not looking at the behavior that's happening. So let's say I'm your ex and I say to you, hey, you want to go out for Italian food? And you go, no, I'd really rather have Chinese. And then me, your ex, says, okay, yeah, let's do Chinese tomorrow. Let's go out for Italian. Okay. Did I just ignore and invalidate you? Absolutely. So you want to look at how you allow yourself, not what other people do to you, but how you allow yourself to be ignored and invalidated. And that comes back to you not really owning up to you as your own family. You have to treat yourself as well as you would want to treat someone else. So you're sweet, you're kind, you're gentle, but you're learning and you're growing and you're seeing what's possible in this world. And in this world, giving back and getting back, giving and getting back in equal measure. Now it's going to be off balance every once in a while, but it's really going to help you to set those boundaries ahead of time, so that you know why you're doing what you're doing. And if you come from any place other than love and compassion, if you come from desperation, if you come from what else is there, might as well, if you come from any place other than love and compassion, you're going to go around the same block. And in about 4 to 6 months, you'd be in the exact same place as you are now. So take a deep breath, do these exercises, change your mind to change your body, to change your intentions, to change your vibrations, and start attracting different people. Okay, cool. Any other questions? I hope that helps you. So I will be back on Monday, August 27th at 4 p.m. Pacific to talk more about ways you can ignite your core power and end your struggles and create an intentional life. Are there any more questions that I can help anyone with? Hi, Nikki. If you have a question, please give me your full name, your birth date, and your question. And if you could give me your birth date with, and if you're from another country, I need to have the month first and not the day first so that I don't get confused. That would be really helpful. So your first name, your middle name, your last name, your birth date with the month first, and your question. And let me see, I'm going to pull one more card. And if there are no more questions, then I will be back on Monday. And we're going to talk more about I haven't decided on the topic yet. So if you have anything you'd like me to talk about regarding intuition. Okay, Nikki, if you want to know about your love life, I need your first, middle, and last name. And I also need your birth date, month first. Thank you, dear. And Jennifer, I'm giving you a big wink because I could feel your love. Oh, rhythm. That's a great card. Okay. So what I want you to do for this weekend, here's something cool you can do for this weekend. And what you might have discovered on this call was how to move your energy in 5 seconds. If you're paying attention and you do it again and you do it again, it's really going to work for you. So just to recap what we did, if you came in late, that is when you are feeling something negative or less than neutral, you're not happy, you're lost, you're confused, you're sad. First of all, you want to get out of your head. And a way to do that is to click on the link that my husband put in this thread, astrologymojo.com/brainstorm, and listen to that 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, but no more than 20 minutes a day. So that you can start to relax the fear in your brain and open up to possibilities. You're going to change your frequency. And then the other thing is looking at positive words, using positive words to power up your water or whatever you're drinking, and words like love, gratitude, and support. And also to the next time you're feeling that angst, that anger, that annoyance, Take a deep breath and clap your hands 5 times. That's a pattern interrupt. Jump up and down 5 times. Pattern interrupt. Burst into song for 5 seconds. Pattern interrupt. And then replace it with a positive statement in the present tense. I am love. I am supported. I am abundant. So that's a technique you can do. I just recapped what we just did. Okay, thank you, Nikki. So let me take a look. Nikki Marie Faulkner, you're October 18th. Hi, Libran. You're in a 3-year, and you want to know more about your love life? This is a perfect year for you, Nikki, to stop feeling like you have to make everybody happy, okay? And there's a very prominent figure in your life, mother or father, I can't tell which. I'd actually have to have their full name, but that's okay. You don't have to give that to me. One of your parents, you're whether it's conscious or not, you are in a constant struggle to prove to this person that you matter, And it's, hey, look at me, mom or dad. Was that okay? Did I do okay? You know, so this unconscious thing, in a communication year, you're going to be learning. Communication is not just talking. It's about going in and doing everything we talked about on this video today, on this event today. So going in and communicate to yourself, number one, that you are worth it and that you don't have to explain yourself to other people, especially family members. And that when you were around 10, think about when you were around 10 or 11 and the kind of person that you were, and how it was always about, there was something always dealing with obligation for you and to give to other people. So it's okay to do your own thing. You know, the one parent that may or may not still be on this earth is still, but there's like a gap between you. So whether this person is here or not, the gap is there and you want to go in and communicate. So I recommend to you to write letters, not to be sent, only for you, in a journal every day to this one parent that you have this gap with, that you have this unfinished business with. And just keep writing and write anything you want. You can write, you know, hate emails, hate mail. You can just write anything. I love you. I hate you. I'm disgusted. I'm so sad. I was wounded. I miss you. You know, I wish I had more time. I wish I was smarter. You know, whatever you think you need to write in that email. I'm sorry, I keep saying email. Write in your journal, and to start there and start the inner communication, because then you're going to start to slowly, energetically let it go. And that's going to open up a whole new stream of energy for you. And you're going to start to meet new people in the next 2 months. Be careful of meeting anyone new in October. And this goes for everyone. October 5th through November 16th. Meeting someone in that time frame, brand new, meeting for the purpose of romance, it will not last, but it will show you amazing things about who you are and what you expect. And this kind of information is going to be powerful for you, especially Nikki, because you're fun, you're light, you have so much to give. And but when you go in and start the inner communication, you're going to come out on the other side and feel like, oh, I feel calmer. And then you start to attract people. And it's, you know, folks, everybody thinks, and this is for everyone, everybody thinks that we have to work really hard and go into the world and, you know, go to singles things or meet people or go to dinner party, or where do I meet somebody if I don't want to go to a bar because I don't drink, or if I go to maybe it's on a Tinder app, you know, I don't know. So when you start to do this stuff in the outside world, you're using your head, you're not really using your power. You're using thoughts, and 1/3 of you are body, mind, spirit. So you want to combine the three, again, come to an alignment. And if you want to meet someone healthy, this is an exercise for everyone, whether it's a love relationship, whether it's you need a new assistant for your business, whether you need a babysitter for your child, write on a piece of paper your ideal fill in the blank, mate, babysitter, assistant. And so then you have a list of things, 1 through 10 qualifications, 1 through 10 qualities. A qualification, maybe they have a degree. A quality, they're kind, compassionate, attentive. Qualifications, they know what to do with money. They're well-versed in finances or in whatever you deem, that they need as a qualification. But as you go over this list of things, you're going to start to really formulate in your brain, and you're telling the universe, this is what I'd like to create. Avra cadavra. I create as I speak, right? And then you follow through daily. You follow through. Act as if. So once you create the qualities and qualifications and you look at it and you see what you have on this paper, make sure you're doing the same thing. Because if you want someone to be really healthy, but you're sitting back eating a bag of chips and smoking, 6 packs a day, it's not going to jive. You need to resonate the frequency of what you're creating. So when I did this exercise, how many years ago, Dean? I don't even remember. This is way before I met my husband, and it was recommended to me. It was a different version of what I just recommended, but essentially it was the same outcome. And so I looked at everything I wanted my ideal mate to be, qualities, qualifications, and then I went back to it the next day and I looked it over and I thought, okay, yeah. And I checked off all the things that I had on the list for this person that I was creating. I was manifesting. Check, check, check. And then when it came to own my own business, I thought, oh, I don't own my own business. I worked as a graphic artist as a freelance artist at Nabisco at the time. And I thought, wow, okay. So, and I had been working toward giving meditation classes, doing private readings. I was working toward it, but I really wasn't in that place of doing it yet. So my father helped me out and said, listen, do it now while you're young, trust that it's going to work. So I activated every single thing that I knew at the time in metaphysical work. And then I went into counseling. I worked on my own. I meditated for hours a day. I did all this information that I'm passing along to you, and it worked for me. And then and then I quit my job. It was a day that I was working for Nabisco, and I was designing a milk bones box. And I had just started teaching a meditation class, $20, for the month. And you come to my place and we meditate. And then I got my first client, my first paid 1-hour client. And it was hardly any money at all, but I really wanted to help her. And she was going through something. And so at Nabisco, we did not have cell phones, but I was not allowed to use the telephone until it was lunchtime. So at lunchtime, I took my break and I checked my machine. Yes, it was a machine. That's how long ago this was. And she was crying in the recording. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Is it milk bones or is it people? Like, why am I here? What am I doing? So I quit that day. And I finished the job, but I quit. And I went home and I, hung out a shingle. I'm open for business, people. And when I did that, and again, remember, I did my ideal for my mate, right? Ideal qualities and qualifications. Well, a few months later, through a friend of mine, I met my husband in my current job. And we became great friends, and 4 years later, we got married. So when you start working on a frequency of what you want in the world, I want a new job, I want more money, I want a better relationship, you got to start from the inside. It starts, your body, take care of your biology, your mind, focus on what you want every day, and then your intuition opens up. And suddenly when you meet somebody, this person is not right for me. Or when you go on a job interview, I thought I wanted it, but I really don't. Or here's why I want it. I want it for the status and the money, not because it gives me joy. So then, the truth comes through. All right, folks. Well, Nikki, I hope that helped you. I hope this was entertaining as much as it might be enlightening for you. So I'll be back on Monday, August 27th at 4 p.m. Pacific to talk more about how you can get over yourself, wake up, and live that intentional life of joy. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I wish you peace. Be sparkly, stay present, and I'll see you next time.